Okay, so this is the Tourism Development Authority fiscal year 2026 proposed budget. The Tourism Development Authority Fund revenues primarily consist of lodging occupancy tax, which is currently at 6%, which is authorized by legislation that is largely restricted to promote tourism and tourism-related activities. I'm not going to read through all that, but you'll see here, so funded through occupancy tax, retail sales of items at visitor centers and historic Corolla Park, and then through promotional events throughout the county. As I just mentioned, occupancy tax collections are restricted to tourism. Currently, 33.3% of occupancy taxes collected must be used for items that are promoting tourism, and 66.7% of taxes collected must be used for tourism-related expenditures. So that breaks down to 2/3 for tourism-related and 1/3 for tourism promotions.
So safety of the tourists is an important issue, correct? Good. So we need to keep them safe for law enforcement and all that. Good.
That's correct.
So in calendar year 2024, we collected $19.7 million, which, we're still seeing increases annually. However, things are starting to slow down, and it looks like things are returning to our pre-COVID normal.
What was the last, probably don't have it, last number before COVID?
I'm not sure.
It's
I can
still
find
a
out
lot.
for you. It's still a lot, definitely. For the authority's management operation of the county's travel and tourism department, media, print publications, and other promotional activities in this proposed budget allocate $4,671,048. This allocation represents a decrease of $74,347 from the fiscal year 2025 adopted budget. On the tourism-related side, the recommended budget allocates $5 million. Oh, excuse me, that's not correct. It is $4,387,312. So broken down further within tourism-related, there's general tourism-related expenditures. There's funding for operations within historic Corolla Park. And then there's also capital outlay in the amount of $5,577,000. $500. So these purchases and improvements include $150,000 for sign replacement at the Moyock Welcome Center, $35,000 for interior and exterior painting at the Moyock Welcome Center, and $4.5 million for the design and construction of the new visitor center in Corolla, which we are excited to get started. It also includes $180,000 for a backhoe replacement that's used over in the park and then also in the off-road and at the ramp. $65,000 for repairs to the horse fence, $40,000 for restroom renovation at the Wildlife Education Center. There are some digital projects at the Wildlife Education Center totaling just over, looks like close to $170,000 for carpet replacement, roof repairs, a fiber upgrade, a security system, and some new exhibit case lighting at the Wildlife Education Center. So we do have some maintenance concerns there that we will be addressing this year. There's also $30,000 included for a fiber connection from the Wildlife Education Center to Whalehead. There's $250,000 included for repairs to the Whalehead Club. And then some additional funding for replacement as HVAC units at the Whalehead Club, which is a traditional expense. And then some additional funding for the Wildlife Education Center for a structural beam repair in the amount of $35,000. There are also transfers of $727,238. So those go to funding the administration of occupancy tax collections, $40,000 for marketing for the airport promotional efforts, as well as the transfer to Currituck Beach Road Service District in the amount of $70,000, which you all requested that we increase that transfer from $30,000 to $70,000 this year. I mentioned earlier that there is a position change. There's actually 2 position changes recommended in the Tourism Development Authority budget this year. The first is the addition of an operations manager in historic Corolla Park to help manage that site and the 3 facilities there. And then the recommended budget also includes the elimination of the assistant promotions and events coordinator position in the tourism promotions budget. We are recommending an increase to the hourly rate for visitor relations coordinator position from $16.24 to $17 an hour. And those are the folks that work at the visitor centers in Moyock and Corolla, and then also on the grounds in the park. Just wanted to highlight a couple projects that are ongoing that use occupancy tax. So we currently have under design the herring, tuna, and shad walkovers. This is, I believe, phase 4 of the 5-phase walkover replacement project. So we are nearing the end. Our hope is to bid these out over the summer for construction over the fall and winter of the upcoming year. The Currituck Beach Park boardwalk repairs, all designed for that project, is also currently underway. The whalehead dredging project we just spoke about and hope to see good progress on that this year. We heard earlier this evening from Coastal Protection Engineering on our shoreline stability study and beach management project. And then the final large project that we have over in Corolla this year design is underway, is for a greenway extension from Albacore to Dolphin Street. So this is the section that runs from Timbuktu beyond that commercial area down to Dolphin Street. So this year's proposed budget is $15,363,098. And I believe that it is responsible to expend occupancy tax. Again, as this budget now becomes yours, you can review, debate, modify, and adopt it as you see fit. We will hold the budget work session on June 2nd. And the public hearing will also be held on June 2nd. And at that point, you may adopt the budget. Or you may choose not to, but it must be adopted by July 1st. It is included in that document, yes. Thank you.
That's straight.
All right. The budget will be available on the county website, and questions can be directed to the commissioner's email address on the screen.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.